Welcome to Sunday Extra. John Scott with Mary Strickland, CEO of Lutheran Social Services. Welcome to Sunday Extra, Mary. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great today. Thank you.
How long have you been with Lutheran Social Services?
I've been the CEO for about 2.5 years. I started in 2016.
What did you do before that?
Believe it or not, I was a pharmaceutical lobbyist in Washington, D.C.
Really? Mm-hmm. You're going to have to come back and talk to me. We can do another 30 minutes on that alone.
I can talk to you all about pharmaceuticals. I also have a nursing background and a social services background, so this works out really well for me.
Okay, so that background really got you here down to Lutheran Social Services.
Yes, it did. It did.
So as the CEO of Lutheran Social Services, what do you do specifically?
Well, Lutheran Social Services has been in Jacksonville since almost 40 years. It'll be our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
One of our main programs is refugee resettlement, and that's changed a lot since the administration has changed. So we don't do as much of that as we used to. There are fewer refugees coming in. But what we have been doing for the last 40 years is food insecurity. So we have a food pantry on site in our offices on Phillips Highway. We also support other community food pantries, and we have some feeding programs as well.
So by doing that with the food pantry, I have heard Lutheran Social Services. I equate that. So my brain just being in the general vicinity here in Jacksonville and being semi-alert, I do think of y'all as feeding the hungry. Tell us about what's happening with the hunger problem in Jacksonville.
Well, there are quite a few hungry people in Jacksonville. We estimate about 20% of people are food insecure.
And what does food insecure mean?
It means that they don't know if they can afford to buy their next meal. And the reason for that is because many people are living paycheck to paycheck in Jacksonville, in many parts of America.
Sure.
And so what we see is that there's some things you must have cash for. You have to pay cash to pay your rent. But if you can get another expense covered, like food, then it makes it a little bit easier on the families. Also, everybody needs food. It's a common need. Mm-hmm. So this having a food pantry available means that no matter what happens, at least people can get fed.
And so y'all have expanded it. How did y'all meet that need? At first, well, you weren't here when it started, but how are you continuing to meet this need?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we try to bring the food to the people. So one of the things we do is we have a backpack program. We serve about 850 students during the school year, and we bring backpacks to their school so they have food to eat over the weekends. Because there's a lot of students also that don't have food to eat. We also have a Serving Our Seniors program where we bring bags of food to some of the low-income senior housing complexes. And this is because not only are seniors on a fixed income, but transportation is quite difficult. So we have a program where once a month on a Wednesday, we bring bags of food to senior citizens, and we bring it right to their complex. And we have the coordinators there tell us who needs this kind of food. So these are really important because people can't always get to the grocery store.
Correct. And there are some people who live in food deserts who they don't have a grocery store close to them to begin with.
That's correct. There are a lot of places in Jacksonville that are food deserts, meaning there's no supermarket. Also in Jacksonville, transportation is a significant problem if you don't have money.
That's true. I mean, and exactly when you have 900 square miles to cover, that makes transportation, public transportation, a lot tougher than it does when people say, well, Boston can do it, right? You said Boston's about the size of Arlington.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes it difficult. So it isn't just a quick fix in that respect, but you can do what you can do on your end.
That's right. And not only that, so what we see is people come in carpools to our food pantry. They come as a group. They come and they bring their neighbors because they realize we need to get this food. We also see people come on the bus because we're on the bus line. So sometimes people just get on the bus and come to our food pantry.
And the food pantry is on Phillips, you said?
Yes, it's 4615 Phillips Highway between University and Emerson. We're open 5 days a week. And we also support other food pantries. There are many food pantries in churches.
Yes.
And here's another place we support kids, in high schools. We do some food pantries in some recovery high schools that are local because a lot of these kids come to these schools and they just don't have enough food at home. So it's often important to have a food pantry so they can get some food when they come to school.
Especially summertime? I mean, do y'all deal with the schools during summer when they can go to their school to eat, or they can come, and how do y'all do anything with the kids in the summer?
Yes, we do. We do summer school programs for kids. We also, in these recovery high schools, which go around the clock, around the school year, we often deliver food. I was just at a recovery high school 2 weeks ago delivering food for these kids. And so again, particularly teenagers are hungry. They need a lot of food. And so you have to have these food pantries. There's some availability for them to come. They can't learn if they're not eating.
That is so true. Mary Strickland is the CEO of Lutheran Social Services, helping the hungry and doing other things wonderfully here in the Jacksonville area. And What else? Do y'all do other things outside of the hunger?
Yes,
issue?
we do. We also have a very large HIV/AIDS program. We have an HIV/AIDS clinic right in our building. We can provide primary care. We can provide testing there. We also have a food pantry. We have case management. It has a pharmacy and a dental practice. So we have a very big program for HIV clients. We also have a program where we pay people's bills for them called Money Minders, and that's for people that can't manage their own money. So maybe they're on SSI, they don't know how to pay their own rent, maybe they have a mental illness. We make sure they pay their rent, we pay their JEA bill, we pay their Comcast bill so they don't get evicted.
And that's good. And that's a simple way to put it. But it's perfect, really. And this is not. Sometimes it's mental issues. Sometimes some people are just bad with money.
That's true.
I mean, they just really are. And we face that fact, and y'all are facing that fact to say, let us help you.
Right. Not only that, not that they're just bad with money. Sometimes when people get a regular check, other people take advantage of them. Say, hey, I know you're going to get paid next week. Can you give me $50? Well, they'll do it, but then they find out when the rent is due, they can't pay the rent. So what we do is we pay their rent for them, and we do it automatically so that they're not going to be evicted. And also landlords will take our clients because they know they're going to get paid every month.
That's a great idea. Did you come up with that?
I didn't come up with that program. It already existed. It's a Social Security program. But what I did come up with is we give our clients reloadable debit cards. So after we pay their bills, they have a debit card. We load it up with their money, and then they can go to Walmart or Publix or anywhere they want to go without having to cash a check. They look like a regular consumer. They slide their debit card, and we reload it every week for them.
Let me look on the two sides of what we're doing here with Lutheran Social Services. First, as someone in need, do you have to prove need in order to be helped by Lutheran Social Services? How do you find the people in need?
That is a great question. We operate on the honor system. Anyone can come to our food pantry. We have to ask some questions that's required by the government, but we never ask for proof of income. We really want to help whoever comes into our offices, and so we have the honor system. We don't ask. So anyone can come. I could come. You could come.
Right. And if they have ill-gotten ideas for what they're going to do, and so they can spend it, they can spend their money on bad things.
Oh, in terms of people getting their money, yes, that people can spend their money on whatever they need to spend it on.
Right. I got you. Now, on the other end, for people who want to help, those who are in need,
right?
How can folks like me help you get this
Well,
done?
Lutheran Social Services is a 501c3. We're a nonprofit, so of course we love to get donations. And the reason we like donations are because we can purchase food at a much reduced rate. We also have a lot of contracts with food purchasers. We have relationships with Publix, with Walmart. So if you donate money to us, it's more than just giving food because we can buy a lot more food for that money.
Right. And now, do you do food drives? Do you do?
Yes, we do.
I see that with y'all's name on it.
We
so
do. We do food drives as well.
The cans are good, but you really are better off with money because you can buy more than that can.
We can buy more than that can. Also, some people don't like canned foods, so we have to accommodate them as well. We have wonderful partnerships, as I said, with volunteers who pick up food for us from Panera or from Publix. We also have relationships with FarmShare and Feeding Northeast Florida. So there's many places we get food, but the way to help us, the most important is donation, but also volunteering. Volunteering at the food pantry is a lot of fun. You get to hand out the food, talk to the clients, pack the bags, and believe me, it's very satisfying. I go to our food pantry every single day that it's open just to see who's in line and to talk to people.
There's nothing more, and it's funny because you're giving because you want to give, but you're the one somehow that receives the blessing out of it. You're helping those in need, but for some reason you walk out, you float out.
That's right.
After you volunteer.
Yes,
There's
you do.
something spiritual that happens there that shows that you are helping a fellow person.
Especially with food, because food is such a basic need. And who are you helping? Anybody. Anybody could be there. We want to help anybody that is in need of food. Now, we only can go to our pantry once a month, but we also have a list of all the other food pantries around town. So our goal is always to make sure people are fed.
And y'all are the ones connecting a lot of the times,
yes.
Connecting these other churches with
yes.
each other and knowing, hey, we have a big problem down here in Mandarin or this problem here on the northwest side.
Yes.
And then you can actually work together and have more food closer to the people who need it more.
Exactly. In fact, that's exactly how we aim to do it, is to have different food pantries in different parts of Jacksonville. And we cooperate with a lot of churches because a lot of churches have food pantries as well.
Ours does. That's wonderful. Mary Strickland is the CEO of Lutheran Social Services. We're talking about hunger. And that number will kind of knock you down when you first hear that number of nearly 20%. That's 1 in 5. That's look down your street right now. If it's not you, it's a neighbor. Or if you don't know that, go across town, and there might be 5 people on that street. But that comes out to 1 in 5 in this area suffer from food insecurity. Once again, define that for us again.
Food insecurity means people that don't know where their next meal is coming from, can't afford to buy food. And many times children going to bed hungry or not getting any food on the weekends because they just do not have the money or the means to purchase food.
How websites probably best right now. I mean, phone numbers, people harder to keep those in their head when they're driving or listening right now. What's a good website?
Okay, you can see us on our Facebook page, and it's www.lssjacks.org.
So LSSJacks.org, and you'll find them.
Yes, indeed. We post on Facebook every day.
That's how you can ask about volunteering? That's how you can ask about anything?
Yes.
All the information you need?
Just contact us on our website. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Well, that's wonderful. Mary, thank you so much for coming by. You can kind of tell you love what you do.
I do. I feel very fortunate.
You are.
Really.
So tell us other stories. Any other stories that come to mind right now of like how, oh my gosh, I just made a difference in someone's life. Do you feel that way every day?
I do, especially when we have immigrant and refugee clients because they come over to America. They're waiting to start a new life, and we put them in apartments. We get them jobs. We put their kids in school. And this year we had 10 refugee children graduate from Englewood High School. 10. So to me, that was a huge success. These are kids who came over here when they were maybe 13, 14, didn't speak English, and they graduated from high school. So it is making a difference in people's lives, and I really do feel fortunate. Well,
thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to help Mary with this mission, Lutheran Social Services, find them online. LSS Jacks. Is there like .org for the website?
.org. LSSJacks.org.
Or hit y'all on Facebook because you seem to be there. You're not there like too much, are you? You don't end up, you don't have cat videos and stuff, do you?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
But if you want to see what's going on, it's on our Facebook page.
That's wonderful. Mary, thank you for your time. Thank you for your passion. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.